don't talk to me. For a show 150, don't talk to me. You ain't never help your mans, don't talk to me. You just follow all the trends, don't talk to me. I set the bar, I'm the bar. Look in the sky, I'm a star. I don't fall in.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with the Green Bay Packers. The veteran kicker Mason Crosby set to do the honors here. And we are underway from AT&T Stadium. That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. First down throw for Prescott. And this one brought in by Gathers. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Prescott. He finds his target, Terrence Williams. And out across midfield down to the 45. 23 yards on the play. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season opener opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a long night.
Let's go, get out, get out. Switch, hey.
Prescott now from the 50. A dump off to Elliott. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
Switch, hey. Check. Hey, we're going right there. 26.
Throwing, Prescott. He's got his man, it's Williams. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though.
Gun. Get out. Here we go, 46. Switch, and 8. 46.
Here's Prescott. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
Good. Here we go, 47.
Prescott to throw on 4th. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. Jason Garrett might be wanting to reconsider the decision to go for it there. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Oko, over here. No. 318.
Working from the gun. Rodgers. Open here is Allison. That's complete. And down he'll go at the 25. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. On play action, Rodgers. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There was nothing available there for him.
Oh, he slipped right by him. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A first down carry by Elliott. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
First down, Prescott. On the left side, he finds Beasley. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Rodgers will bring the Pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 16.
319.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Flush to his right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Well.
Throwing again. Rodgers. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. He got 29 yards that time.
Let's go, hey, let's go, come on.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. He'll leave it for Montgomery complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Let's go, hey, let's go, come on.
On play action, it's Rodgers. He's going to look deep down the field. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams, 52 yards. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6. On is Mason Crosby for the point after. Crosby with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Crosby on now to kick it away. Here's Thompson to return it. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Prescott now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10.
Let's get off the field. Let's get off. 41's the will. Letting kick.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. The Cowboys looking to get going again in a hurry.
Hey, switch.
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1.
Gun. 26. Then we're going to 53. Here we go, 46. Gun. 26.
Prescott now on second down. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Clay Matthews in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Let's go. Let's finish now. Here we go, 46. Here we go, 46. 46.
On third down, it's Prescott. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be fourth down. Now, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on fourth down. Final play of the half, Prescott. And he's got it to Hearns. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring up second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. On play action, now Rodgers. And he will go down, a Cowboys sack. Randy Gregory in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long.
58!
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here's Austin. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter three.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Clay Matthews in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
Hey, we're going right there. We're going right there. Here we go, 46. Here we go, get that. Let's go, get out, get out. 26.
A second down throw for Prescott. Caught left side, Williams. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Switch, hey. Gun. Under. 26.
Prescott from the gun on third. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Nick Perry in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a fourth down.
26.
Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Now a play fake here on first down. Now he's going to throw deep back. He's got a man complete. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 45 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, first and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game.
319.
On second down, here's Rodgers. And left side here, it's Graham. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. The reception good for 7. It's third down. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Back now in Arlington. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the fourth quarter. The Packers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
319.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Buying time to his left. Touchdown, Packers. Geronimo Allison from 21 yards away. And the Packers add on to their lead. And he moved left there, Charles Little. Danger play. He didn't throw toward that left side, went over the middle. Got the 6, though.
Yeah, he seems like the type of guy that when you told him as a kid, don't touch the stove because it might be hot, he touched it anyway. And this one, he got away without getting burned.
Crosby on now to kick it away. Here's Thompson on the return. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Hey, 47. Switch is 8. Here we go, 46. 26.
Prescott looks to throw on first. He's going to go deep for beat. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A gain of 32 that time.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Second down, Prescott finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Gun.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though. Huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. It kind of works like a sack for the defense.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Prescott now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. To the air again, Prescott. Dancing to his left. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Prescott now. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Terrence Williams, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys draw a bit closer. And, man, Charles, talk about zinging something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand-new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here, or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
The first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Hey, check 26.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Lets it fly deep for Cobb. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. But he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. Prescott now perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. The give is to Elliott. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this.
Get out, get out. There we go, count.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. A give to Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Here we go. Go to 54. Go to 54. Right.
They'll look to throw. Got his man. It's Williams. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Inside of a minute to go now, 2 timeouts left, still in pretty good shape.
I think they're in excellent shape here if they use the timeouts judiciously and use the sideline as an additional timeout.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
He'll look to throw. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early, and then you kind of relax a little bit, to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
He's back to throw. Being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
46.
Back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. 2 timeouts remaining defensively, but that shouldn't make much difference right here.
It really shouldn't, but a lot of coaches look at it similar to baseball with the intentional walk.
Always bringing in other sports.
Always, hey, listen, think about the intentional walk, right? What if one gets past the catcher? What if he uncorks a wild one and now you still have an opportunity? That's why they like to use them all the way through.
26.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. Montgomery hit and the ball is loose. And the Cowboys have recovered.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. From the 10-yard line, here's 2nd and goal.
Go, get out there, get out there. Go, get out there. 26.
Back to throw. The quick slant caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Allen Hurns with time running out. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we may very well be headed to overtime. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. And now the Packers get set to go. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Rodgers to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
To throw is Rodgers. And open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. Rodgers now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw, Rodgers. Going for the deep ball. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. They go to Elliott again. A strong running. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. They go with the ground game, pick up the first, now in plus territory.
And that changes the whole mentality of a play caller, doesn't it? Once they cross the 50, they feel like they're in the strike zone. All right, you don't have to be in the red zone to take those big shots downfield or go after the end zone. Right now, that might be available to them.
And now this first drive in OT continues.
Here we go, 46. Here we go, 46. 46.
Here comes the first throw in OT for Prescott. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Elliott. That goes for a gain of 31. Explosion plays always break the back of a defense, and overtime to put him in the red zone, that was huge.
I like your description there, because when you get an explosion play, now people are really scrambling on defense. Now they're looking to each other. Who's going to step up? Who's going to make a play? Offensive guys have the momentum. Now they're in the red zone. They've got to be thinking attack, trying to get it into the end zone.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys, poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Mike Daniels in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to fourth down. And his kick is good. And they take a 17-14 lead. They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up, because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. The field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive. They're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also kicking off and giving the other team the ball with a chance to kick a field goal and beat you. Get the touchdown, finish the game off. That has to be the mindset.
First throw of overtime for Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Randy Gregory in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. What can Rodgers do now with his drive? Flushed out right. This is Cobb with a catch right side. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. They're calling a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Little OT scramble drill that time, Mr. Davis.
And, partner, I can tell you from personal experience, nothing drives a defense crazier than having things covered and the quarterback takes off and picks up a first down or big yardage. Because whether you're in zone or man, it's easy to lose track of him because you don't always have someone assigned to him. And once he goes, now everybody's scrambling to try and tackle him.
Throw left side complete. That's Graham. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. When you're trying to win a game in overtime, I don't know that there's too many more in the history of the game you want under center than Aaron Rodgers.
Well, I think a lot of it's because he can beat you so many different ways. All right, he can beat you with the big shot downfield. Heck, if you need a Hail Mary, no one throws it better than Aaron Rodgers. But just when you think you've got him corralled in, when you've got pressure on him, he uses his legs to escape and create another big play, whether he's running it or extending it so a receiver gets open. I think he embraces overtime.
He's got it at the 15. And that one results in 35 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Steps away to his left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT.
Let's go, hey, let's go, come on.
Rodgers to throw on second down. That's complete right around the 8. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. The Packers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Sean Lee able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down. And with just 2 seconds remaining, the timeout is called here in OT. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to keep the game alive. And Crosby puts it through, and that will tie things at 17 all. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Here's Thompson to return it. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. On 2nd down, Prescott again. Drops it underneath to Elliott. Elliott a 1st down and more. And all the way up to the 46. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. That last pass puts him over 300 yards now in the game. More importantly, though, big first down here in OT.
And the team around him has a lot of confidence now after picking up that first down. Everyone seems a little more energized. But did I hear you before the game call in and say, this is my quarterback for your fantasy league? Because he just gave you a good stat, didn't he?
He did, and I appreciate it. First down, Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Let's go, get out, get out.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Here we go, 46, 46. 46.
A first down throw for Prescott. Forced out to his left. And this one is incomplete. Cole Beasley, the intended target. And that'll bring up second down. Now, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
47, 47. Get out. Kill.
Prescott from the gun. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Mike Daniels in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Hey, we're going right there. Here we go, 46, 46. You can't hang. You're not going to get me. Here we go, 46, 46. Switch, and hey. Start there, over there. Start there. 26.
3rd and long for Prescott. Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. 2 minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about. A long field goal to win it, so definitely not a gimme. So there was tension all the way through until the ball went through the post.
But it did go through the post. Ice water was in his veins. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter @EA Madden.